Get record. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. And this morning I'm having a conversation with Antje from Glasgow. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm good. Thank you. Thank
Uh,
you for having me.
that's all right, no problem. Is the weather good up with you, or is it a bit
No, it's great today.
good?
Sunshine.
Oh, you've got sunshine. Well, that
Yeah.
makes a difference, doesn't it? Not having snow or rain. We've got the other weather. We've got the grey weather today, so you've got the sunny weather, which is great. But yes, so you've been well. You're doing okay. You're writing poems and doing everything that you enjoy doing.
Yeah.
Excellent. Right. So my question that I ask everybody the same question, and it's fascinating where the journey takes us. So, what is it you enjoy when you don't have to work? When you're not working, you go out and do things, or what do you enjoy doing?
I enjoy being in nature. So I like walking and cycling, for example. And
Hmm.
just being out there and looking at things and taking it all in. So something like mindfulness. And I look at the trees and hear the birds sing or smell the flowers. So that really brings me joy.
And you're actually in the best place, aren't you? Up in Scotland. It's whenever I go up to Scotland, I always feel that I've gone home. It's a wonderful place. And my goodness me, you got it all in leaps and bounds, haven't you? In the countryside and being able to walk and hike and cycle and yeah, it's amazing place to be able to do that. And as you say, for mindfulness as well. Do you have to travel very far to get to the countryside, or is it fairly close to you?
I would say not too far, but Scotland has mountains, like in the Highlands, and also
Yes.
water. So there
Yes.
are many lochs that I could go to, or just to the beach, to the
Yeah.
east and the west. So there are many options, and it's really nice to be there and just switch off and maybe look at the water.
Mm.
So I really enjoy that.
Yes. Yes. It is. It's amazing, isn't it? The different areas of nature you can go into. As you rightly say, you've got the lochs, you've got the beach, you've got the mountains. You've got so much choice, haven't you, that you can go and
Yeah, yeah,
just let it envelop you.
yeah,
Do
that's true.
you? Yes. And so being up there, do you find that it helps to write poetry when you're sort of in the nature? Do you take your notebook and do you write poems while you're out, or you just take it all in and then write some poems when you get back home?
It depends, but I have taken nature and what I experienced as inspiration for my work. So, for example, I attended the fireworks on the 5th of November and then I wrote a poem about that. And
Hmm.
I took notes what happened and how I felt and kind of incorporated that. So that's an example, but I write poetry about nature, mental health, anything. Also, sometimes about topics that are given by where I intend to send my poem.
Hmm.
So I have to accommodate for that.
Yeah. And it's great, isn't it, that you're able to just write it down because a poem actually doesn't have to rhyme, does it? So if
No,
you write say a prose or something like that, you can just write it so it's sort of rhythmical, but doesn't have to rhyme or doesn't have to sort of follow on. It's just putting, as you say, thoughts down onto paper and then sort of rounding it off when you sort of finalize it all. But it just gives so much opportunity, I think, doesn't it, to different poems for different things, beach, mountains. Yeah, I mean, when did I go up there last? I can't remember when I was up there last. It was probably 2013, I think. I went up to Fort William and stayed there. I wanted to go skiing, but couldn't. But it's sort of lowlands. it wasn't sort of mountainous. Then went up to sort of Ben Nevis Range, and it was a complete whiteout. So I didn't do anything up there. And then I went on the Fort William to Mallaig railway line and saw all the sort of the white beach coves and everything. Have you been to that area?
Yeah, yeah,
It's an
I've been there.
amazing,
It's a
yeah,
nice place, yeah.
yeah, yeah, and it's sort of a focal point, isn't it, Fort William? So you sort of go off in different directions, and I think it's just an amazing place. There's just so much. You're just so lucky to have it all on your doorstep. Yes, I think I can't remember how long the journey was up there, but yes, I am quite envious of you living there with all that around you. It's quite something. And with your poetry, um, have you published any of it?
Yes, I
And
publish poems, I send them to poetry magazines.
uh-huh.
I've been featured in a few anthologies.
And the is it that's a self-published book, is it that you've done or books that you've done?
I've published a book that is with a small Scottish press.
Uh-huh.
That is actually a story about a young adult who goes on a treasure hunt in Iceland and she struggles with communication. So she kind of learns to overcome her fear of speaking while being on this treasure hunt. And the book is called Annika and the Treasure of Iceland. That's a book I wrote a couple of years ago. And I self published a poem called Quiet, a poem about selective mutism.
Hmm.
That is for more awareness about this condition where people can't speak in certain situations, like in public, but they do speak at home. And I've done a lot of work around this topic, poetry wise. Both books are available on Amazon. And then, as I said, I'm published in magazines or e-signs or anthologies. That's books other people have written. And there's a collection of poems from different poets. And so I've done work internationally, like poetry from women, really different things, but I'm trying to create more and get more published. One of my poems also got nominated for the Pushcart Prize a couple of years ago,
Oh,
and
yeah. That's
yeah,
amazing that you're able to the it to sort of pinpoint that our language and why people struggle to speak in certain situations and how to pinpoint the whys and the wherefores and what happens and do you find that people that struggle to speak in certain situations that they're able to write poetry? Is that something that you see that they can do? Because obviously that you don't have to speak a poem, you can write it from what you see around you. So do you find that people that struggle in those situations are able to write poetry? Does it help them?
yeah. So it's anxiety based, like
Mm,
social anxiety based. So
yeah.
I find that people who struggle with speaking are usually good at writing, and writing helps to express your thoughts and feelings. So I've done work with community groups and people in creative writing workshops where we explore all our senses, for example, where I've done something at a local library around freedom, so different things, and I think people really find it useful. Certainly people who like writing and creative work, but I've also done spoken word open mics where I present my poetry for a bunch of people, where people can actually join and present their own work. So that has happened in Glasgow last year or in different places where I just performed my work.
And do you find that it gives people hope? that they're able
Yes,
to get over what they struggle with.
yes. I
Mm,
think it's a good medium to just
yeah.
say whatever you want to say, and it's just something creative, and you can see
Mm,
that you can write something, it's not really hard, and then you have this work that you created.
mm. And I think that a lot of people, obviously, with anxieties, trying to speak and not being able to in certain situations, if you if you start to, I suppose, teach them the flow of poetry and the flow of being able to write things down, then that then cross-pollinates across to being able to speak it rather than just writing it. Do you find that?
Yes.
Mm,
I also work as an assertiveness coach, which came out of my own experience as such, that I wanted to help people with communication. And I find it's helpful to give people a script to start with.
mhm.
So this is what they want, what they can say, and then practice this, do role plays, for example. So you have to really do it, and then you can see that confidence grows and that people get better with that.
Mm. It's building up, as you say, it's building up confidence, isn't it? Being able
Yeah, yeah,
to find their own words rather than having to have that script all the time. So it's a great
yes,
starter for them.
yeah.
Yeah. And have any of the people that you have come across on your journey, have they been able to publish any books or self-publish anything that they have achieved?
Yeah, I know a few people who publish stuff. I also know people from online poetry groups where
Hmm.
we read things like every month. So that's a nice thing to do, to build connections and just share our poetry.
It's a great way. I mean, I when I was quite young, I wrote some poetry for my mother, and it was great because I completely understand, how it kind of, well, I don't completely understand how it all works, but sort of understand how it works. You see something, you enjoy something, you put the words down. I'm not great with words, written words, great with the verbal, but not with the written so much. But I could talk for England probably. But it's great, isn't it, to be able to see that from people starting off here and then sort of going up and being able to have that confidence to be
Yeah.
able to do that. And it did the journey start with yourself being in that situation?
Yeah, I would say I
Right.
struggled as a child, and over time I found ways to help myself and made a community of people around these issues, and so I want to help.
Yes. Yes, I can see now why you do what you do because of what you went through at a young age. And it very often works like that, doesn't it? I think, if
Yes,
if we all if we all go through something and we have the right personality to be able to help others on their journey because you helped yourself and found what you did for your journey, so you helped others, you were able to sort of put the paving slabs down to help others because you did that for yourself. And very often I think you are able to help people more if you've gone through that journey yourself, rather than, oh, I think this will be a good idea to do, I'll do that, and not having gone through the journey from there to that, if you see what I mean.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
yeah. It's quite the human psychology is quite fascinating around it all too, isn't it? Is that something
Hmm.
that you look at as well?
Yes, I educated myself about it. So
Mm.
I have an academic background. I studied information. So I've got a PhD on this, which I did in Sheffield.
Hmm.
And from that, I got more interested in psychology and language communication. So
Yeah,
I also did work as a German translator and tutor at some point, and that's also writing mainly. So I can actually write poetry in both languages.
right.
And sometimes I translate a poem and have both versions, and that's pretty interesting.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes, I mean, language is a fascinating thing, isn't it? I mean, it's always fascinated me, and you think of all the languages around the world. Why is my question? Why are there so? Why doesn't everybody speak English? Why? How? Why? I don't know. Are all these languages, why do they happen? Where did they come from? How did they start? You've got Japan, you've got the Inuits, you've got the all these places around the globe, hundreds of thousands of places. You've got the indigenous tribes, haven't you, in the Amazon, who've got their own language. You've got the cultures that have a language of clicking, not clicking their fingers, but making clicks in the mouths and the throats. It's fascinating, the language. You delve deeper and deeper to find out different things. But I just find language fascinating. You know, why? Where did it start? How did it develop? There's so many questions. Have you come across any answers on your journey?
That's a great question. I
Mm,
think I read a book about it a long time ago,
yeah,
and one theory could be like it all started at one point and then people spread out and just
yeah.
things became different.
Mm,
But then on the other hand, now that we have AI and automatic translation, things like that, it can get easier again to
yes.
communicate and just say to understand different languages or
Mm.
people speaking a different language. I personally like the English language, so that's why I moved into this area.
Right.
So I'm originally from Germany, so
Yes.
I also speak German, but I think languages are fascinating as such. I learned languages at school,
Hmm.
also
It
like
is.
French and Spanish, the
Yes.
usual things, but also other European languages.
Mm.
It's all fascinating to kind of deal with the words and see how they might be related or
Yeah.
what
Yes.
origin things have.
Yes. It is a fascinating topic.
Hmm.
Languages and how the sort of the English speaking languages like Australia, you've got the Australian language, obviously, you've got the
Hmm.
Americans, um, and others besides Scottish. You've got the colloquialisms, you've got the local dialects. Obviously, we have local dialects in England, and then you've got the Gaelic, the Irish, the and Scottish Gaelic. You've got the Welsh. It's just it's an it's another conversation in itself. Probably lots of conversations, not just one. But Angie, I really thank you. It's been a fascinating chit chat with you this morning, and I hope that perhaps we can do it again very soon. So thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you.